Hello and welcome to the Tom Sawyer Show here on the Warrior Sports Network. I'm Grant Wall, joined as always by Winona State head football coach Tom Sawyer. And Coach, Saturday, a big win against Wayne State here in Winona, homecoming, a really great atmosphere for a football game to be played.
Yeah, it's everything that we always wanted it to be. When I first took this job many years ago, we said we want to give our kids a game day experience like none other in Division II football. And Saturday was one of those kind of days. The parade, the Hall of Fame, all the festivities around the parking lot, the reunions. I mean, all the things that we had was everything that we hoped that it would be. Obviously, it didn't stay sunny all day, but and then the game against a great opponent, and you come in and you play well, and everything's awesome. So just a fantastic day for Warrior football.
One of the great things about homecoming is that it brings back so many of the past members of your teams, brings back alumni to the campus, and so one of the really cool things that happened this year was you had a lot of championship reunions. You bring guys back every 5 years, and it just so happened that several of those teams, this was their year to come back, and so it was a great weekend again for those old Warrior football players to come into campus and be a part of game day.
Yeah, I know, especially that you talk to the guys from '68 that came back. They had about 25 guys here, and my high school coach was part of that group, so it was fun to talk to him. And then the guys I went to school with, part of the '83 championship, and there was over 35 guys from that team that were here, and we only had about 80 on the team at that time. Then of course, since I've had a chance to win a couple along the way with the '93, the '98, '03 teams, they were all part of that as well. And you start going back and talking to those kids. Hey, Coach, I was your first captain, and this guy, hey, this is the first time we beat this team, and we went to the playoffs. And to watch the interaction, especially one interaction we had, which was I want to share, was an interaction between Chris Sam and Rayon Simmons, and they didn't really know each other until just the other night. And they were bowing to each other about each other's abilities and accomplishments, and that's what that's for, is to bring it all together. We call it program at work, and watching all of our players from past and up till now enjoying the time together.
All those past players, alumni, and fans got to witness a very, very exciting game on Saturday. Maybe a little more exciting than those on the Warrior sideline wanted it to be, but in the end, it was a 45-41 Warrior victory, capped by one of the most exciting plays that I've seen and that I've been a part of since I've been here, a 65-yard touchdown to Chichi Ojika with less than a minute left, giving the Warriors a victory.
Well, it was just part of the script. We tried to make it, exciting at the end and try to get people back from the rain. And so we let them in the end zone, so we make it a little more exciting. But really, you finish a game like we did in a back-and-forth game and hit a little screen play. Coach Keller called the perfect play on the perfect time, and our guys were out running. Tamara Atwood had a big block. Alex Jensen had a big block. Jake Lilla was out in front. Corey Christensen made a big block. So all those things had to happen, or he wouldn't have gotten the end zone. But as soon as he broke out, the place went. Who was left from the rain went crazy. And what just a great way. It's one of those fairy tale kind of endings, and I'm glad it was on our side.
Nobody outside of Chichi probably had a better seat to watch that run than you. So when exactly did you know that he was gone and that was going for a touchdown?
Right when my heart attack stopped. At that point, I knew that he was gone. Really, it was when he turned the corner. He kind of jumped inside of the first kickout block. I think it was by Vance. But as soon as I saw him cut back inside, I could see the lane from where I was at, and I just went and hit it. And he did, and he took off. And he's a fast kid, and once he hits that lane, not too many people are going to catch him. So that's about the 40-yard line, somewhere in there, when I saw it just open up, and he was gone.
Another great day by your freshman quarterback, Jack Nelson. Throws for 5 touchdowns for 347 yards. Both of those are Winona State freshman records. But another day where kind of got into a shootout, and he was able to make plays when he needed to.
Yeah, every week he's turning more heads, and including mine. I mean, he just does some phenomenal things, and he really made one mistake in the game. He threw one bad ball that got picked off down in the red zone, but otherwise he was spot on. He scrambled out, he extended plays. What he also does really well is he just hangs in there and lets things develop. Now, he's kind of in a hurry. We've talked about him before. He was kind of in a hurry earlier in the season. Now he's just sitting there going through his progression. I threw the ball to 9 different people, I think, in the football game, or at least 8, I don't know. But it was, to be able to do that at the freshman level and let the defense dictate to you, is remarkable. I've never had a kid with that kind of ability this early in their career.
Defensively, a game where Wayne State took a lot of shots down the field, and your corners played very, very well, especially A.J. Shipp. He broke up 6 passes to go with 6 tackles of his own. So a game in his first season with the Warriors, a game where A.J. really, really played well.
Yeah, he's a tough kid. He's not very tall, and he overcomes that by being aggressive, and he's fast, and he's a kid that they put their fastest kid in open space, and by the way our defense rotated, he ended up with some one-on-ones down the field, and you just got to make plays, and he did, and he was our player of the week. And I know he'd like to have one play back, the last one for the touchdown, but he went for a pick and just barely missed it. But nonetheless, AJ played very well, and he was our player of the week on the defense this week.
Turnovers have been a big part of the last few games for you. This is I think the 4th straight game where you forced at least 3 turnovers. It's going to sound like an obvious question, but in terms of momentum and in terms of getting your guys off on a good foot, how important are forcing turnovers and being able to take the ball away from an opponent?
Well, statistics are staggering. I mean, you block a punt, you got a 90% chance of winning the football game. That's just one. But we work hard at it, and we've talked about it on the show before, but we spend a significant amount of time trying to get the ball out, making different plays, giving quarterbacks different pictures, and just getting after the football when somebody's carrying it. And it's huge because those are game-changing plays, and momentum. We spend a lot of time talking about the significance of momentum, and I know Coach Barton will probably talk about it as well when you talk about the PAT piece of it. But we spend a lot of time on it, so our kids have a good understanding on how valuable those turnovers or receiving of those turnovers can really be for your team.
You mentioned momentum. You're going to go into next Saturday's game with plenty of it. You've won 5 straight. Now a matchup against top-ranked Minnesota State. You're 3-0 in the NSIC South. They're 3-0 in the NSIC South. This one's going to have some repercussions as far as the conference race goes.
Well, absolutely. This is what you always want. You want to be late in the year and have a chance. And here we are again, especially where we started. We started in a hole. And here we are now in the South Division. We've won a couple big ball games and got to go on the road to win another big one, or you're kind of knocked out of it. So it's awesome. They're ranked number 1 in the AFCA poll right now, and I'm one of the pollsters, so it's kind of fun, and to have one of our conference teams at number 1, and a great opportunity for our guys. If we can play well and some good things happen, there's a chance for us to win the game. That's all you want, and so we expect that our kids will play at as high a level as we possibly can. We'll see what happens.
It's obviously not hard to get up for a game like this on Saturday, going up against the top team in the country. What do you tell your guys? How do you keep them from getting a little bit too jacked up for this game?
Well, I don't know if you can really tell them anything. They're 23 years old. They get it. They understand it. We're just trying to keep them calm and execute. It comes down to execution. If you get too excited, you're too jacked up, you overrun stuff, you try too hard, you make mistakes, you're not thinking clearly. It's no different than the one we just had, because you lose against Wayne State. It's the same exact effect if you get beat against Mankato. So it doesn't really matter who we're playing. It's more about how we execute, take care of the football, and when you have opportunities to score, you got to put the ball in the end zone. And if we do that and focus on those things, you don't get too overexcited.
Well, it'll be a great one on Saturday. 1 o'clock is the kickoff between the Warriors and the Mavericks in Mankato. But before we go on, talk to Alex Jensen, the tight end who had 2 touchdown catches against Wayne State. We're going to take a look back at that game, see Alex and everybody else's highlights right on the other side of this break. Lots of excitement and action on Saturday as the Warriors beat Wayne State 45-41. Let's take a look at all the highlights. Warriors on offense, Jack Nelson under center. Quick pass to Tony Mueller.
Yeah, it's first play of the game. Got things rolling. The place was rocking, and it was really fun to see the students come out in big time, and we thank them very much for that.
Warriors on defense here. A good defensive effort by the Warriors. Gave up some yardage, but made plays like this all night.
Yeah, our inside linebackers played pretty well. Colin and Ryan Gertz both played really well, and you can see with the pressures here, and there's another kid who played really well. That's Tevin Ivey with the big knockdown there.
Well, that was actually intercepted. Gives the ball back to the Warriors. Now Wayne State with the ball again. Or this is that same play, sorry. We'll see Tevin Ivey make a great jump on the ball, just go up and get it, a ball that was just up in the air and up for grabs.
Yeah, and again, the pressure to flush him out to start him is what did it. So good pressure on that particular play.
Pressure on the quarterback, and he throws it up There's A.J. Ship breaking up a pass.
They had 6 breakups in the day, and it was really fun to watch him play, and he was on an island for a lot of it.
A couple great stops here on the running back. A really good running back for Wayne State. And then on this play, getting to the quarterback and bringing him down.
Yeah, Colin Corcoran again. He's really playing well. You see him right here, number 49. Watch him attack the quarterback, flushes him out, and then runs him down at the end. A little help with Kubler at the end.
Great pursuit by Corcoran, just right up the middle. Now the Warriors on offense. Jack Nelson had a great day throwing the football. A little play action. Gets it done here to Alan May.
Yeah, I ran a little diagonal route, clover route we call it, and Alan May, and he makes a couple people miss at the end too. Great in the open field.
And that play action is what really sprung that play, as we'll see it here again.
Yeah, again, it's a play action. They respect the run. Both linebackers are kind of running around in circles, didn't know what to do, and there's Allen coming from the backside. And I thought we did a good job in our prep that week finding those soft spots.
Down in the red zone, jump ball pass to Josh Mikas.
Yeah, it's something you work hard at all the time. We got those guys that can leap, they're long, and the way we're finishing that right now has really been a nice weapon for us.
We'll see that one from behind again. Just watch Josh go up and get this.
Yeah, he went up in front of that. He got his body in front of the outside linebacker, actually. They put on the guy with the broken arm, but nonetheless, Josh is very good in the air.
Warriors on defense again, kind of backed up in their own territory, but making a stop.
Yeah, you got to get good pressure. And here's Morgan Weaver coming off the edge. That's what he does best, is fly around out there, and played very well in the game.
A great athlete is Morgan. You'll see it from a different angle, watching him kind of the top of the screen coming around.
Yeah, he just kind of blew by the tackle there, and the quarterback had nowhere to go, and he's pretty athletic once he gets there.
Jack Nelson in the shotgun for the Warriors. Little shovel pass.
Yeah, something new we put in last couple weeks. We ran it to Jensen once. Now we've run it to a receiver. Just something else to give another look to the defense when they're getting upfield pressure, and flipped it up underneath them.
The Warrior defense once again, this time has Wayne State backed up and then making a play on the ball.
Yeah, again, coming out, the guy slips away, but we come out, knock the ball out, scoop it up. Terrell Foster knocked the ball out. Mitch Lunder
picks it up and gives the Warriors good field position, setting up this.
Yeah, 1 of 2 touchdowns on the day for Alex Jensen. I'm excited for him. He got in the end zone finally after a couple times down on the 1. Jack
Nelson gets flushed out, going deep to Josh.
Yeah, Josh came from all the way across the other field on our scramble rules and then dove in the end zone. Somehow they marked him on about the 6-inch line, but great play and awareness by Jack Nelson.
He was close, and this was, as the half was getting over, Jack Nelson goes in and scores.
Yeah, you can see the push up front. The guys on the offensive line did a great job. We got inside. They were excited to get in the end zone, and he was responsible for all 6 touchdowns in the game.
Second half starts. Rain during halftime, and still raining a little bit here, but another great breakup by A.J. Ship on the football. And now we're going to see the Warriors on offense. Chichi Ojika really got into the act in the second half.
Yeah, he had good patience, a lot better patience than the second half. Good blocking out there by Cam, and he just took off down the sideline.
He had some great runs in the second half. Had 92 of his 101 yards in that second half. And again, rolling Jack out, going down the field.
Well, it was a big play because Alameda was coming across. It got us a new set of downs inside the 10-yard line in a drive that we had to have. And a pass here, same little play. This one's just to Cam Johnson. A 6'4" kid with long arms. You got to put the ball up.
Warriors with the ball again. Chichi Ojika.
Again, you just see how fast he is. He's got one guy to miss. He does make that kid miss at the end and did his job. And pursuit got him at the end. But he's playing his tail off here in his senior year.
Jack Nelson. He's going to find Alex Jensen for Jensen's second touchdown of the day.
Yeah, the safety forgot to play him back there and got behind the defense, made a good read, and Jack found him in the back of the end zone.
All right, Warriors on defense. Going to get to the quarterback.
Again, just relentless pressure. The guys worked hard all day and weren't playing great early, but they played late, and when we had to have them, we got the job done.
That's right. Now the Warriors, they're down. Time for one more play. Well, it's Chichi Ojika. And look at him break free.
Yeah, just a beautiful, beautiful play, guys. Everybody on that play did their job all the way across the board. And watch it from the end zone. Just watch how fast he is when he explodes. Watch how many people that we get on the ground for Wayne State. 2 blocked up there. There's 3. There's 4. There's 5. There's 6. of their 11 guys, we got our hands on the front side of that play.
Great blocking. Once Chi broke it free, there was no catching him at all. And this is the play that sealed the victory for the Warriors, forcing a fumble.
Yeah, they tried a little hitch and pitch here, and it really probably was incomplete pass, but a hitch and pitch, and we recovered the fumble, and that was the game.
Great highlights from the Warrior win, and the best part about it, Warriors walk away with a W. When we come back, Alex Jensen, the senior tight end, will sit down and talk a little bit about that win over Wayne State. Hello and welcome back to the Tom Sawyer Show. I'm joined now by Winona State tight end Alex Jensen. And Alex, a great offensive night for the Warriors Saturday against Wayne State, and a really good offensive night for you, getting into the end zone twice against the Wildcats. Just tell us a little bit about that game offensively, a game where you really moved the ball in some pretty big chunks through the air.
Yeah, we executed pretty well for the most part, I think, but we left some points out there. If you look back at the film, fumble on the one, a couple of bad decisions, and we were shooting ourselves in the foot early. So overall, I think we played pretty well, hit the big play pretty quick, like you said, but still some stuff that obviously we need to work on and improve on, keep building.
The biggest play, obviously, is the last offensive play that you guys had, a 65-yard screen pass. Chi Ojika takes it to the house. You talked after the game a little bit about that play, but as that one's going on and you see him break free, what's going through your head?
Well, you're pretty excited at that point. I mean, the whole crowd and coming down to the wire there and everyone talking about this is a drive, we're going to go and put it in, and then right away, quick strike like that, words can't describe the excitement, so it was pretty fun.
At what point of that play did you know that he was gone?
He came in my peripherals at about 40-yard line, and there was nobody, so I've had a pretty good idea that nobody was going to catch Chi there. So
yeah, as soon as they were right at about the 45-yard line,
right.
There was one more guy to make miss. He made him miss, and then he was gone. To win in such dramatic fashion like that, what's that like? A really close game that you win with less than a minute left with a long touchdown play like that. What's that like?
Well, it's just exciting, especially with the crowd we had in the homecoming game. The excitement was unbelievable, and like I said after the game, I don't know if I've ever been a part of something like that where we had to score and come down, and it happened so fast, and it was such a explosive play that just made for extremely exciting atmosphere and extremely good time. So
let's talk a little bit about your night. 4 catches, 2 of those you find the end zone. Getting in the end zone has kind of become a regular thing for you. That's 6 career touchdown catches for you. What's it like when you turn upfield and see the goal line? What's going through your head?
Well, that's the best part. That's what you play tight end for, to get in the end zone, and obviously catching the ball as a big dude is a lot of fun. But yeah, it felt really good to get in the end zone first time this year. So that was also exciting part of the game for me, finally getting in.
You're a guest that we've had on here before, but we haven't had you since Jack Nelson became the quarterback. What's it like? You're a senior and you're kind of used to playing with John, who's another senior. What's it like now having a freshman under center? It seems like this offense hasn't missed a beat.
Yeah, Jack's done a really good job, I think. He's super poised, super confident in his ability. He lets his ability talk on the field. And we're just really confident in Jack back there. Me and John had a connection from working together all summer, and it took Jack and I a little bit to get on the same page, but he's rolling with everybody right now. He's doing a great job and helping us win ball games, so it's been real nice to see.
We look forward now this Saturday, obviously a big one, going to Mankato. The top-ranked Mavericks are your opponent, the number 1 team in the country. What's your mindset going into this game? What do you have to do to come out of there with a win?
Yeah, we know we're going in to play a really good football team, obviously. We basically need to play mistake-free ball, cut out the mental mistakes, cut the penalties, and we really need to take care of the football and make plays. So that's our formula right now, and that's what we're going to stick to.
You go from a homecoming game here on Saturday with a great crowd and electric atmosphere to a game against the top team in the country, another place that's probably going to be rocking with another big crowd. Is this kind of what you dream about when you come to college to play college football, getting to play in atmospheres and in games like this?
Oh yeah, like I said after the game, when they asked me about the main kid again, this is what you play college football for. This is everything. Playing big games against a big-time conference team and in-conference rival, like I said, and this is what you do it for. This is what it's all about right here. So it should be really exciting. We're really excited to play. So.
Well, it'll be a good one on Saturday. The undefeated Mavericks against Winona State. Both teams don't have a loss in NSIC South play, so it's going to be an absolutely fantastic afternoon of college football. When we come back here on the Tom Sawyer Show, we're going to sit down with Winona State assistant coach Zac Barton. Welcome back to the Tom Sawyer Show. Joined now by assistant coach Zac Barton, and coach, you wear a couple different hats with this Winona State football team. But the first one that I want to talk to you about is your role as special teams coordinator. And special teams has been a huge part of this Warrior attack all year. None more visible than on Saturday, blocking a couple punts, giving the Warriors good field position all day. How much effort and how much pride do you take into what the special teams are doing?
Quite a bit. I'm pretty lucky to have I got a team and a group of guys that have really bought into what we're trying to do, enjoy it. 4 or 5 guys are probably the best I've been around special teams wise. The block punt we had was coming off of a check that Matt Spahn came off the field, told me they were making a certain call, and we adjusted to it, and that's the reason why we got the block. And that's pretty big time for a young man to be able to communicate that with me, and gave him a different look, and Mike Barton did a great job of getting to the block point and getting it done for us. So.
It's 6 block kicks through 7 games this year. Toby Frisbee has 3 of those. You got guys making plays all over. Toby's coming up the middle with that rush, and then you guys got guys coming off the edge. How much do you work in practice on getting to the football on special teams and trying to get your hands on it?
We personnel quite a bit. Obviously, this late in the season, special teams is a lot of interchangeable parts. And get this late, I'm not trying to grind guys. Spring ball camp, we're trying to work on technique of things. When we get this late in the season, it's schematics. I'm trying to put, a big guy like Toby that can run, shield punt, we're going to try to pressure the shield. The one against Upper Iowa was just stemming. They take a little bit longer to get rid of the ball. It was fortunate. This one, just tried to overload a certain side and get there. So more, that's not so much about getting to, it's more scheme. Those kids, when we worked in the spring, that's a core group. All those 11 guys have been the 11 starters on punt return all year long, and that's got a lot to do with it, you know what I mean? So they're pretty cohesive. They do a great job communicating. And once you get to the block point, keep your eyes open and slide the hands across the table and get a piece of the ball.
Not only are the punts or the blocking working, but if they do manage to get the kickoff, you have a couple really, really dangerous returners. One, Chichi Ojika, taking kicks back, and then Alan May, who's doing punt return duties. NSIC Special Teams Player of the Week a couple weeks back. So guys, even if you don't get to the football and block it, a couple guys who can really do some damage once they get their hands on the ball.
Catching punts that takes a special talent. You have to be, you got to be pretty mentally strong to be able to do that. And Alan has done a fantastic job with us, just fielding the football. If you let that thing hit the ground, you don't know what's going to happen. So he's done a fantastic job fielding the football, and that's where it starts. 1, we're going to catch the ball, we're going to possess it. 2, we're going to worry about what we get after that. And he's done a great job. The momentum swing that he had a couple weeks ago where they popped in pretty good and his helmet came off and had an absolute reverse effect on them. We were more excited the way that he popped up, and he's just that type of young man. He's a tough kid that has done a phenomenal job for us. Chichi has done a really good job back there too. He's taking a lot of snaps on offense now. So he's in that game, I don't know how many yards he had total, return yards.
Over 200.
Yeah. So that adds another face to us, like you said. Them kicking the ball out of bounds because they don't want him handling the football has been great for us. And he breaks that one in that game, we would have had an even bigger day. So we're right there, and something we got to keep working on and is blocking with our feet on the kickoff return and giving him a shot, because every time he touches it, he can do something special.
Another part of the special teams game that has really started rounding into shape is the kicking game. Freshman Brett Cochran-Bray, who has made more than 30 consecutive extra point attempts. How has that solidifying that position helped this offense and this team so far this year?
Well, the main thing I preach to those guys is momentum. You score a touchdown, and if something happens with the PAT, I mean, there's a lot of interchangeable parts there. You got to protect. There's a snap, there's a hold, and then there's a kick. But if you miss that PAT, the thing gets blocked. It breaks your momentum. We've done a nice job when we've done that to not break momentum. And the other thing is, if you miss one gets blocked. Now you're in a situation where you got to go for two. It just creates. We're trying to. When we score, the team is called money, and every time I stress those guys. Every time we go out, we got to have points. And they've done a fantastic job. Our holder's done a great job getting the ball down. Ian Murray's been consistent with his snaps, and the protection has been really, really good.
One of the other hats will shift focus now that you wear is the defensive line coach. A group of really, really talented guys, and one of the strengths of this defense so far this year has been really getting pressure on the quarterback.
Those guys are doing a nice job. We've had some injuries here and there. We're a little beat up, but we need to keep working. In a 3-down front, we got to be able to change our mentality. Our number one priority is to stop the run, getting hands on people. And obviously, what we saw last week, we need to be able to shift gears a little bit and start getting after the quarterback, changing our mentality a little bit. So we're going to be healthy this week and get back into a good rotation. I like to get those guys. I like to play 6 or 7 guys. So once we get everybody back, we should get rolling here again.
One of the things that Minnesota State does really well is run the football. What's your message to your defensive line this week?
They're very good. We do our job. We're doing just fine. I mean, like Alex was saying, this is why you come to Winona State. I mean, they're standing in the way of what we need to accomplish, and I think our guys know that. Just like Wayne State was. And Wayne State is a Southern Division opponent. Every year, you come to Winona State to win championships. So this is the next one, and we got to have it because they're in the South.
Right. Well, it'll be a great game, 1 o'clock on Saturday. The Warriors going up against Minnesota State. A really, really good day that we're all looking forward to, a great day of football. That is all we have this week on the Tom Sawyer Show. For Coach, for Corey, for everybody here on the Warrior Sports Network, we'll see you next week.